Throughout history, there are few companies as impactful on their respective industries as the one I'm speaking of right now. The company that I am speaking of is one of quality, staying power, and influence, the likes of which few can achieve. That company is Nintendo. Nintendo had humble beginnings, starting in the late 1800s as a playing card company, but over time developed into a household name as recognizable as Star Wars or other massively successful brands of entertainment. This did not happen in just one day, however. In the 90s, when video games were just beginning to rise into popularity and consoles were finding their way into consumers' homes, Nintendo took over the gaming industry with Super Mario 64, but even before was pulling the attention of young consumers in a growing industry with 2D titles such as Super Mario and The Legend of Zelda. The list of popular intellectual properties produced by Nintendo contains some of the most well known characters to date, most original titles to date, as well as the most artistically recognizable and distinct to date. These games continue to inspire developers to this day. It is this very inspiration that has brought about similar games that are created every year. In fact, Nintendo may well be considered the safety net of the entire video game entertainment industry, which faced collapse during the oversaturation period of video game development in the late 80s. For the same reasons and many more, Nintendo is worthy of your appreciation and respect. A beacon standing out not only as a force within the video game community, but as a company that took advantage of a budding industry and made it their own. Moving into the future, Nintendo will power on like a freight train, slamming any opposition. There is no doubt that Nintendo will continue to innovate and expand the industry to players of all ages and creeds, taking new, creative approaches to video games the likes of which we can't even imagine, and take new ideas and growing them into something even more special than they already stood to be. As the gaming industry changes, so will Nintendo. And that is a future that I want to see.